Hey guys, what's up? This is Francisco with Bearish Capital, and in this video, we're gonna go through the weekly watch list. I'm gonna share some of the names that I'm watching for next week, and also I'm gonna go through the ETFs of those names, and I'm gonna go through what actually caught my attention for those setups. And just for the record, guys, these setups are bearish setups because I think in what I'm seeing in the market that we're gonna continue to see more downside, and that we should, if we want to play it, we have to go with the path of this resistance that continues to be to the downside, or otherwise the best thing to do is just to wait in cash for this downtrend to end, and then we're going to see some opportunities to the long side. So remember, guys, that this video is based on my personal opinion and my personal analysis, and it's not a financial advice. So now that we got that out of the way, right here in my screen I have the Nasdaq Composite, and if you want to see some of the analysis that I made on the market, make sure to watch my market update video, because in this video that we're going to do right now, we're just going to focus on the setups, so that way we can make this a fun and short video so that you can have time to spend with your family and also do your own stuff. So first of all, let's start here with the ETFs. The ETFs that I'm watching, I have 4 ETFs in my list. I'm watching SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. And you can see right here that the SMH continues to be in a downtrend based on the trend oscillator indicator that I use. You can see that we actually have a squeeze that is pointing to the downside, and that we got rejected at the 50 daily moving average. So that's the first ETF that I'm looking at. Then I'm looking at the XLB, which is the healthcare ETF. And you can see that you can see right here, as of this moment right here, we are starting to see a downtrend. We actually have a squeeze that is pointing to the downside, and right now we're flirting with that level of support. And I think that we can see a breakdown, and then we can see an acceleration to the downside in the healthcare sector. So that will be the second ETF. And then let's take a look at the XLC, which is the communications one. And this one is pretty funny, right? Because this one was basically the strongest uptrend that we had between 2020 and 2021, and that was a beautiful uptrend to trend, especially with Google. And now you can see that this has been one of the strongest downtrends, right? One of the cleanest downtrends. And you can see that the trend oscillator, right? The trend oscillator crossed somewhere around here in September, and then we have a really strong move to the downside. So this is going to be the second ETF this is the third ETF that I'm focusing on. And basically we have a squeeze that is pointing to the downside. We continue to see a trend oscillator that suggests that we're going to see more downside. And you can see right here that we actually have some distribution, and now we are starting to break to the downside in increasing volume. So that's going to be the third ETF that I'm watching. And then the last ETF is actually XLK, which is the technology ETF. And you can basically see the same thing. You can see right here in the trend oscillator that we have been on a downtrend since basically the end of the year, somewhere around December 2021. And you can see that we continue to trend below that EMA, which is the red line on the trend on the trend oscillator. And now we have a squeeze. We got some distribution right below that 50 daily moving average. And now you can see that we're starting to move to the downside in increasing volume. And I think that there's a high probability that we're going to see some acceleration in this selling. So those are the 4 ETFs that I'm watching: SMH, XLV, XLC, and XLK. And then the names that I'm going to focus on next week, I have actually, let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 names that I'm going to be watching, and the names are the following. Let's first start with Tesla. And you can see Tesla, right? Beautiful, beautiful chart. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. And you can see that Tesla has been on a downtrend, right? We have been on a downtrend all the way since December, basically kind of the same with the indexes. And you can see that right here, we had a squeeze. We had a pretty strong move to the downside. And I think Tesla is getting ready for the next move to the downside, which is actually pretty exciting, because I think it's going to offer a lot of opportunities to trade it to the short side. You can see right here that we have a squeeze, and that Tesla is getting rejected at the 21 exponential moving average. So right now, Tesla is in a great position to manage risk, because you can short it right here, perhaps use that 21 exponential as your stop. If you want to give it a little bit more space, you can use the swing high. But I think right now Tesla is at the level in which if it breaks this level right here, I think we're going to see a really strong move to the downside. So this one looks pretty interesting to trade it via puts, or perhaps just shorting the stock or selling call credit spreads, however you want to trade it. Then the next one is Nvidia, and this one also looks great for the short side. You can see right here that we have a squeeze. This continues to trend to the downside in the trend oscillator, and you can see right here that we got rejected at the 21 and 8 exponential, and now we're moving to the downside in increasing volume. So this one is actually looking pretty amazing. Let's see if we can get a breakdown through this swing right here. So that's going to be Nvidia. Then also for the semiconductor space, I have AMD. And you can see beautiful, right? AMD, you can see that we actually had this move here. A lot of people got excited, but you can see the trend oscillator. You can see the trend oscillator right here that we got rejected at that red line, and is actually a pretty impressive indicator, to be honest. And you can see right here that we have a squeeze that is pointing to the downside, and now this one is getting rejected at the 21 and 8 exponential moving average. So I think that there's an opportunity for AMD to at least retest these lows right here, which is somewhere around 83.27, and then perhaps we're going to break this, and then we will continue to move lower. So this one is looking pretty interesting also for the downside. Then I have Bill. This one is also looking great from our downside. You can see that Bill was one of the winners of 2021, but right here, at this moment right here, you can see that the trend oscillator told us that Bill was moving to the downside, as the trend oscillator, which is the green line, moved below the red line, which is right here. And you can see that Bill has slowly been bleeding to the downside. This is actually a bearish peg, which means that it is a bearish power earnings gap. That's a term that I learned from Traders Stewie, which is an amazing trader there on FinTwit. And you can see here, right, we got some selling on pretty heavy volume, and now we're just getting rejected at that line, right? So if you're looking to short Bill, I think that you can short it right here below this 21 and 8 exponential moving average. You can use this 134.99 as your covering guide, and then you're just putting yourself in a position to get lucky, right? I think that this is a bearish flag, and we will continue to see more downside in Bill. And then finally, for the last name, so that we can cover XLV, I have UNH. And this one is looking pretty textbook for more downside. You can see that we had a strong move to the upside right here. What I'm seeing here is kind of a head and shoulders. And I think that this time around, the price does not have a high probability of actually holding this 200 daily moving average. And you can see that the trend oscillator already broke below that EMA, and that we have a squeeze that is pointing to the downside. And you can see how price is starting to get rejected at the 21 and 8 exponential moving average. So we get the move below the swing low right here. I think that we are going to at least retest these lows here. If not, we're going to have a really strong move to the downside. So those are the names that I'm watching. And let me just share one more with you. I think this has been a pretty quick video. This one is LY Lily. And what is interesting in LY Lily is that this one was trending right here. You can see that right at this level, we have the cross in the trend oscillator, and we had a beautiful move to the upside. We retested, the trend oscillator was holding. This one held that 50 daily moving average, but right now the trend oscillator broke, and the price is traded below the swing right here, which means a change in price structure. And this is also a close below that 50 daily moving average on increasing volume. So I think that this one is also a candidate perhaps to test these lows right here, or these lows right here, or maybe we're going to see a move all the way to that 200 daily moving average. So those are the names that I have for you guys. I think that there's a lot of opportunity in the market, but you just have to be aware that the path of this resistance continues to be to the downside. So after the bear market rally that we actually saw a bear market rally of somewhere around 12% in the Nasdaq Composite. And I think that after that rally, now the market is ready for its next leg lower. So just be aware, just manage risk, follow price. At the end, this is about risk management, because no one has any idea what is actually going to happen next. But trading is all about putting yourself in a position to get lucky, right? And the word luck mainly means preparation. So if you just get prepared and then you just manage risk, then you just can get lucky, right? Quote unquote lucky. So just be open. If you have too much long exposure, be aware that this market we are not in a bull market. And price is actually what is telling us, right? We just take a look at the Nasdaq Composite. You can see that this is not an uptrend, right? Is not difficult to see that we're trending below a decline in 50 and also a decline in 200 daily moving average. So just be aware to trade in the direction of the trend. And if not, if you don't feel comfortable shorting, just wait in cash. This is most likely going to pass in the next couple of months, or actually no one knows, right? This could last for a while, but there's always an uptrend that comes before this, that comes after this. So I just think that there's a lot of opportunities and that you can take advantage of those. So thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to see the video in which I talk about the market, you can see that at the end of this video. You're gonna see the link so that you can also watch that update as well. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I wish you the best of luck for next week, and I also hope that you had an amazing weekend. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and peace. Bye bye.